Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? How sad is this? How sad is this, guys? Oh, I'm gonna show you what I got from Seattle. It's a timer. So I'll put the timer on for those of you that want to clock me because I talk too much. Here's the timer. All right. What's the reading about? You rock it. Oh, thank you, Kelsey. Oh, I posted on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, everywhere. That I did a reading on Kiss FM with Ryan Seacrest and Tanya Rad, and it was so amazing. They loved me. So thank you, Ryan and Tanya, for letting me do that. Newbie here. Oh, hello, Newbie. Mama Faye, how are you? Oh, I love newbies. I love newbies. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Tay Tay. Hello, my lovely Tracy. Hello, Alicia Brown. How are you? Are you wait, are you Alicia Brown from the class? Are you? So, how is everyone today? Yes. Oh, hi, Alicia. How are you? Aw. How are you? So great to have you. Now I'm connecting all the dots. Like, um, hi, Dina. Hi. So, Dina, somebody saying hi to you. Hi, Miss Tracy. Hi, honey. Hi, Callie Subs. Oh, thank you for the super heart. Callie Subs, thank you so much. To you, Alicia. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Millie. Hi, Tiara. Hi, Myra. Hi, Lucio. Lucio. Hey, Tracy, you look beautiful. Thank you. I don't feel beautiful, but I'm going to take the compliment because I deserve to have that compliment. Right? We've got to learn to, when somebody says, you look really good, or you look so thin, we have to be able to not make up our faces. We have to be able to go, I want to thank you because I needed to hear that today. Purple hair is still here. Purple hair, don't care. Still here. It's just it's dark and then it gets lighter. I pulled it back today. It's kind of hot. Hi, Tracy. I'm Dina. Hi, honey. Island girl. Hi. Hey, Tracy, I've got to re-sign up. I'll be back. Okay. Okay. What? Gio, what? So I've got the timer for people who think I talk too much. By the way, for people who think I talk too much, this is actually a very secluded group. We're very special people and we totally understand each other. And so if you think that I talk too much, even though I constantly call it a talk show, you don't have to stay and listen. But YouTube did set it up so that you could fast forward, and all you have to do is fast forward until you see me do this with the cards. Once you see me do this, the reading begins. But sucks to be you and those people that think I talk too much and you don't want to hear the beginning part of the talk show because some fascinating stuff comes through before the reading. But oh well, you have your options over to you. You can leave or you could fast forward on YouTube. But what you cannot do is clock me anymore. And what you cannot do is complain. You have other options out there. Take on the other options. But my 20,000 people are very secluded and very sweet and they understand me. So unless you want to come in with the gang, the cliquish gang, the spiritual gang, the nice people, I have nice people that follow me. Okay? We don't take no crap with all this back and forth like you all do on IG. So don't do your IG stuff and come on here and think I'm going to accept that. Oh, no, 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 no. Absolutely not. When you come here, you got to take off the bitch mask. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we all have it in us. Take it off and come into the spiritual world and be nice. Somebody's like, you keep talking. I'm just going to enjoy. All right, so let's get this party started. Should we? Or should I do another 3 minutes? What should I do? Should I fix those people that think I talk too much and just turn it over again and talk some more? Tell them, Tracy. Oh my God. Hey, Tracy, I got you. Thank you, Kim. Get on it. Get on the reading. Pretty tonight. Thank you. God loves me. Thank you. Do your thing. Right. I'm going to do my thing. Right. You get this Christian girl cussing and fussing. We got a problem. All right, guys. Kimmy's so funny. She goes, I will not get blocked tonight. Because that was the one we blocked. I'm up there listening to y'all. Maybe I just picked the wrong. I don't know what happened. Poor thing got blocked. It was so funny. How are you doing, Kimmy? So, okay, let's talk. Let's turn this over. Let's talk. So, we have a young man that's dead in his own apartment. We have the, Shawnette, thank you for the $20. Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you. We have a young man. Hi, Miss Stephanie. I'm exiting the hurricane waiting for Florence. Oh, Kimmy, are you in South Carolina? By the way, let's get this out the way now that Kimmy reminded me. Let's all say a quick prayer because we can tell that the hurricane has caused havoc already. But we want to pray to God that whatever havoc comes, lives are not lost. Or that lives can be minimized. Or that there's an opportunity for safety if they are caught up in the surge and in the middle of the storm. Please, God, protect all those that are still safe and still trying to beat out this storm. If they have not left their community already, may you find a way to keep them safe from harm. Love you, God. Please protect North Carolina, South Carolina, I think Maryland, and I think Virginia as well. Because what's happening is not even a category anymore. It is a category 1, but the rain is just going to saturate. And in some of the communities, some of the states, the rain is not going to leave until next Tuesday. So there's just going to be a lot of issues down there. And so we've got to keep our prayers. I know we're all having our own personal problems, but if you're not in this event, you know, maybe we can put our personal problems aside and put prayer out to all of those people that may need our prayers. What? They told you to evacuate Virginia? Well, Callie Subs, I don't know if I can agree because I was watching the news and it turns out that there are some people that stayed to ride out the storm, but I did hear that there's a whole impoverished community that can't. They had no place to go. So I don't know what all of that means in the long haul, but apparently it's bigger than you and I. For those that got stuck out there, let's just pray that for whatever reason, no judgment. I think ABC, Good Morning America, Robin Robbins was like, no judgment zone, because we don't know some of the reasons why some of the people stayed. And it's bigger than all of us. Some of them just really, truly had no place to go, no vehicle to get there. Like, it's a sad situation out there. Oh, that's funny. That's a good way to put it. It costs money to evacuate. That's a good point. And not everybody can. It's all lengthy. And that was, you brought it home. In any case, let's just pray anyway, because they're still in the middle of it. Like, in any case, they're still in the middle of it. And I can't imagine 8 days of this. You know, I know people in North Carolina, and some were lucky to get their family members out, their children out. Like, wow. All right. This police officer, Amber Guyger, I'm not sure if that's her name, and Botham Jean, turns out she went to his apartment, but she said she went to the wrong apartment. He was in there, and then she shot him. Neighbors said they heard her knocking on the door. No, she said she went to the apartment was ajar. And she went in and saw him and shot him because she said she thought she was in the wrong apartment. Neighbors said that they heard her knocking on the door and saying something, and then when he opened the door, he was shot. And then there's video footage of her walking back and forth and talking on the phone, but it seems to be that she was not talking to the police at the time. She was pacing back and forth. But according to the time frame, she was not talking to police at the time. Then they came out and said, which they do very often, I have a funny feeling it's not a race issue. That's just my funny feeling. It's not really about race. I think now it's becoming about race, which is what's sad about this. So it turns out they decided to make this young man look bad because they said he had weed in his home. And did he have weed? Was it planted? Was the weed planted after the fact? Is there a problem having weed when almost half of the U.S. has weed as a legal option now? Is having a stick or a bag a criminal act now that warrants someone discrediting this man's character through weed? But there are people that buy into that, like, oh, well, he had weed. Is that what we're doing now, or have we always done that? So now it's becoming about race, and that's what's so sad. Oh, man. That's a bit much. What weed is this? It's nothing, right? In almost every state. Like, you can still get arrested for it in some states, but, like, to diminish his character because he had weed on him. Like, really? Oh, don't say that. Yeah, Miss Stephanie, just because you have weed on you, that doesn't mean you should get shot. By the way, it doesn't mean you should get shot in your own apartment. But weed came after the fact. That's not something she came out and said. Oh, you guys are so adorable. Those that text me, I guess I wasn't watching. So let's take care of this. By the way, I keep saying I'm going to return this iPad, and then I never do. If I would just return it, they would give me a new one in 3 days. But I'll be returning it. Okay, so now you guys should be able to hear me. I'm so sorry. She got drunk and went to her ex's house and acted a fool, and I don't think it was about race. Not about race. First of all, she shouldn't have entered this place without saying it to the police, anyone there. Right. So I read something today, and I think it was on Twitter. And Twitter was like, wow, she managed to leave her job correctly, get on the highway correctly, get in the right lane to go home correctly. Like, she did all the correct things until she got to the complex. For some reason, at the complex, all of a sudden, if I'm not mistaken, she parked in the wrong section and then went to the wrong apartment. But all the while, the whole day, she kept doing everything correctly. So, did they know each other is one of the questions. Did she do it on purpose? Let's take a look. Movement, wheel of life, path of least resistance. Wow. This card speaks volumes. You know what this card speaks to me? It says, do it my way or else. I said, do it my way or else. Interesting. Bare essentials, the naked truth, wholeness. She is lying. I know you guys don't need to hear this as a psychic. I know you all already have formed your opinion about this. I'm the psychic expert. I'm the psychic journalist. I'm going to validate what you already believe. That she is lying. There's more to this story. She needs to be given a lie detector test. They need to check her phone records. My prayer is that they took her phone away immediately to look at the text messages. Oh, guys. I was hoping it wasn't going to be this. Looks to me like she had a crush on him. That's what it looks like to me. She had a crush on him. I'm not confident they were dating because I got this as my way or the highway. I think she had desires for this young man. And I believe the desire kept growing. So I believe she was chasing him, but it kept growing. Oh, by the way, it kept growing from the growing up, by the way. To be honest with you, I think she just wanted to have sex with him. I think it was like, I think she was like saying, I just want to have sex with you. Like, not a relationship, sex. And I think he was disgusted by her. Throat chakra. He said something to her that upset her. Please, I sent you a pic of them. Oh, please send me the pic. You send it to my text if you have my text. And he did not want to have sex. We can see why he was disgusted. Really? Is she like disgusting looking? No, I don't think it was about messing with a cop. I think it was about energy. I think his energy was not feeling her crazy energy. You know, like we've all had someone come up to us and we're like, ew. And the person like salivates over and it's obvious and you're like, okay, I can't do this. We could be friends. And then you're like, please God, please, I don't even want to be friends with this person. Right? We've all had that, right? Where somebody comes up to you is just not like unacceptably never anyone you would date. Hi, young successor. Right, Miss Stephanie? Right, Smith Margot? Right. She's in a black dress. Okay, I'll take a look at it, Kim. Right, PD? Exactly. And they still come up to you and you're like, oh my God, because I have this at church where, you know, oh my God, it was so bad. And one of my Bible study members had to say to him, stop. I was dying. I was like, I just froze. And she was like, oh no, we've had to have there's some code of ethics we have when somebody invades your personal space. At the church, we don't exercise it anymore, but we used to when he was there. And I see why, because he had fixated on me, you know. And now he's no longer at the church. He just disappeared, which is fine. it is what it is. I'm like, okay, God. Um, oh, so the shooting, I digress. The shooting was about victory. That's what this was about. Trust me. The event was not black white. The event was, I want to have sex with you and you're going to do it. And if you don't, you've just made me mad. See, that's why guns are a problem. Although she was legally capable of carrying a gun, but in a fit of anger, the gun gets pulled out. And she calculated this. She does not care that he is not here. She doesn't care. She's like, say, lovey, you shouldn't have rejected me. So I'm telling you, was it the district attorney that prosecutes her? You better uncover this. Um, this is a like Dateline or 2020 story. Like, get to the bottom of this. Get to the bottom of it. Like, even the way she interviewed, she did not interview with sorrow or remorse. You know, oh, and then I read she didn't even do CPR. Like, even if you find out that you're in the wrong apartment, you would go into shock first, but because you're a trained professional, you would first call the cops and second do CPR. Also, she pointed her gun, talk about doing everything correct, but then walked in the wrong apartment. She pointed her gun like she had clarity of mind. You know? There was no hope in this relationship that she wanted, and that's why she took him out. There was a spat, not an argument. There was a spat where it got to the point where he might have been like, I really don't care what you do. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like she might have been begging for the sex, and then he just had to shut it down. You know, I was talking to someone and she said she was stalking, but it was kind of like catfishing. It's a nightmare. And she said, so it looked like she was going to go to jail because she was internet bullying or something like that, because it's not allowed anymore, right? And so, I mean, I had pity for her, but I was like, oh, honey, I think you're going to go to jail for this. Sorry. And she kind of knew it, but she was in denial. And then she says, and it was the way she said it. She goes, she was so sweet. She's like, and then this happened and that happened. But I'm looking at the cards and I could see the truth. And I was like, okay, here's the bottom line. Because she was going to court and she wanted to know, like, what would the outcome be. And I was like, oh, here's the bottom line. You're going to go to jail. And she kind of knew it. She wasn't surprised by it. Like, she kind of knew it, but because she was guilty, she knew. She knew what she had done. It went through all these proceedings. She was, fingerprinted, lockup, all this stuff. And now it was the trial. From a different state. That's how it, like, online stuff. In any case, now she gets to me. And it's a week away from the court trial. And I go, you're going to jail. And it's hard to be the bearer of that type of bad news, like, be in my shoes. Like, you guys don't understand when I have to see something. Like, I had a young girl that was like asking about Florence. Like, no, she said, can you do the storm? And I was like, no. And it looked like I said it poorly, and I probably did. She said something to me. I apologize. I'm like, you're right. I was irritated. I'm sorry. She's like, well, you lost a subscriber. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. I was wrong in the way that I said it. And if you can't accept that, I hope people aren't as hard on you when you do something wrong. I'm okay with that. I don't know why I brought that up. But in any case, getting back to this client, so then she was talking this really sweet voice and da-da-da-da. But spirit shows me, so you can't give me the sweet voice, people. You can't. I see all. Where's my, I'll show you. This is my version of the crystal ball. I had this for Valentine's Day, and the flowers never separated. Look at this. I've got two of them. In any case, it's my version of the crystal ball. I see all, right? All right. So then, in the same breath, she wanted me to have sympathy for her, and then she goes, but he called me ugly. And I was like, oh, oh, oh. Okay, so I apologize that you were called ugly. I apologize. I think the reason why he called you ugly is because you never stopped. You never stopped contacting him. You never stopped sending him pictures. And she didn't deny any of this. And I said, it was wrong for him to call you ugly. I just think he had no choice. And he figured if he just gave you a derogatory name, you would be so upset that you would stop. And apparently you didn't. That's what I'm getting with this police officer. I think he was grossed out by her. I think she chased him around the complex. Okay? I think that there might have been an invitation of sorts to give it to him free. I'll give myself to you. I just want to have sex with you. And there's some level of authority or higher authority inside her head in being a cop and being a regular Joe. I think if she was a regular Jane out there, she's had so many rejections, right? I think being a cop elevated her to the point where she felt like she could demand something of this young man. So, just before this occurred, there was a spat. And the way I'm getting is like, like spat, like just stop. This is what she wanted. She wanted a relationship. She wanted him. She was fixated on this guy. I really feel like he couldn't stop her. I don't think it was a one-time event. It might have been up to 7 times that they accidentally ran into each other. Meanwhile, she's like waiting at the garage door or something. You know what I mean? Like, she's that weird. She's weird. Weird. Put my glasses back on. I emphasize weird too much with my eyes. Weird. You all know that weird person. We've all run into that level of weirdness in our lives. The King of Swords, I don't know what his sign is, but the King of Swords represents to me that he had to shut it down, slice it like precision. Stop this. And she had to walk away with her tail between her legs, maybe a little embarrassed, maybe try to find calmer waters in her emotions, because she was turbulent for a while with the passion. All right? But she's not happy, this woman. All right? I also think this card could also represent him, where he had to stop her turbulent sexual advances and finally did it by saying something really, really smart. And it just looked like it got better. I also think the last event was a week prior. The last event where they had a conversation was a week prior. You got to give this case time, guys. Give it time. There is a problem with the moral compass. Everybody's turning this into a black and white issue. And I got to tell you, I think her mom might be the key in her mental health. There might be something in her history where she chased somebody in her history. Okay? You know, insecurity is one thing. We all have a level of insecurity inside of us. This is a lady that might be, you know, some level of lootiness. If they talk to her mom or her father, somebody is going to spill the beans. Yeah. Well, somebody said, why are all these crazy cops being fired? There's a couple of reasons, right? So, the video games are like a huge part in building excitement when cops are in the street. It's almost like they're practicing on the video games, and then when it actually happens, I think they forget where they are. Also, the situation that they get put in, it's always a 0 to 60 situation depending upon the person. Also, if it depends if it's a black person or a white person, black people get shot, white people shoot up a whole town, a whole uh, movie theater, a whole salon. They always come out alive. Didn't we just have one recently? And in my mind, I was thinking, I, I bet he is Caucasian. Didn't we have one recently? We saw that on TV. What was the most recent thing? I said I was going to say it so I could remember to tell you guys. No, it is true. It is true. And when we're having a mental break in our system as an African American, as a black person, no, Dylan, no, it was really, really recent. Um, it was in California. I don't think it was worldwide. It was in California. It was in, I don't remember now. Doesn't matter. No, not Florida. I think this was literally local. In any case, the YouTube? I don't know what that is. Yes, I do mean that gamers and violent video games are a direct correlation to officers' mental health. I am saying that. I don't think I'm the first one to say that. I will, Kimmy. I'm using my phone on Periscope. Thank you. I'll check right now, Kelsey. It's a direct correlation. And that is something that police departments now need to deal with. They need to, but you're in your own home, you're buying your own video games with your own money, but there's a direct correlation. So education needs to change in terms of their training. Oh no, you look like you're at Command Central. Well, I mean, again, we're talking about so many different things, right? Gamers, there's big money in gaming, all right? I mean, big money. I think that if you allow your children to play violent video games, I think that if you don't help balance God and Jesus in their lives, if you don't communicate with them, if you like, you know what I mean? Like it's so much bigger than you and I, and Jesus has been taken off the table. Lucio, don't believe that for a minute. That's not what science is saying. And if they're saying that, it's to protect the cops. There's no way you can play video games, violent and then be a cop. That's what I said. And then be a cop and not have it have an effect on you. Period. It's common sense. I don't say it's true for everyone. Like your son. I can't say that's true for your son. But I have to say, if there's not enough balance of right and wrong, if you don't snatch your child up in the supermarket when he does something, bad, I think it can become a gateway. I also think that there are kids that have mental illness that play these violent video games. And again, it becomes a gateway. So, regardless, period. Thank you, period. No guns, period. I mean, they could be reading a book instead. No judgment. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, we have to snatch them back. And if it means we got to tackle our children on the floor to snatch them back, oh well, we got to snatch them back. I mean, my son noticed that because you know kids play with YouTube, and my son noticed that if he's not watching his son, he can grab something off of YouTube that is inappropriate, and so and again, what they had to do was remove YouTube. He's four, okay. He had to remove YouTube because he was finding things that were like, what's this? What are you doing? And at some point, they had to take away YouTube, and they had to say, go read a book. Let's read a book together. Like, why are we doing YouTube? But it was a lesson. It's a development. It's a lesson because the world is so digital now. And, you know, even with your son, the world is digital. Barring speaking about you personally and getting back to the cops, I'm sorry. If you're trying to catch the bad guy to precision and you're already a cop and something goes on out there in the street, you're trigger happy. Period. So don't tell me about any studies because there hasn't been enough studies on this. Don't tell me. I already know. I want to see the correlation between gamers and violent games and cops. Show me that study and tell me it doesn't exist because I'll call you a liar anyway. What's surreal? What's that? Yes, ma'am. Oh. Thank you. In any case, getting back to the cops, I don't want to digress to children and parenting because everybody has their own thing. And mistakes are going to be made and accomplishments are going to be made. I don't want to do that. I'm just talking about grown men and women. And this is about this woman. This was never about finding the wrong apartment. She calculated this whole thing. She, by design, went to this poor man's apartment. The door was not ajar. He opened it. Why aren't they saying where he was shot at? Why aren't they saying that? What are they missing when they're not giving us all the information? Was he shot in the bathroom? Was he shot in the living room? Or was he shot at the door? And that's why they arrested her. They're not giving us the whole story. He was very innocent in all of this, and she shot him. She might have offered him money on top of everything else. I'll pay you. He was disgusted by, he couldn't stand her, actually. He was disgusted by her. All right. I'm telling you, I think her mother is the key to her level of crazy. Somehow or another, she got through. Also, there's a previous employment that might have something to say, and probably a woman. Wait, hold on a second. There's a woman that knows something. It could be another cop, or it could be in a previous employment for her level of crazy, where she might have done something very similar, which is like demand or stalked somebody. There's money here. Money is a component here, and maybe it's because the gentleman's parents get to sue Dallas police. Also, his mother is going to have something to say because she's going to describe her son. And she's going to be like, he's very direct, he's very straightforward, he would never have influenced this woman in any way. He's the type of person, no means no. Her whole family has racial remarks? Dude, really? Listen, it's not about race. It just isn't. It's about a sloppy woman that wanted somebody's penis. She was a cop with a gun. When she did not get her way, she went crazy. But let's remember, crazy's not a defense for her. I think she was already crazy, but crazy's not a defense for her because she calculated this whole thing. Well, I do not believe that he was dating anyone. I don't think he was dating anyone. I don't think he was dating anyone. Um, okay, I don't want you guys to get mad at me, okay? Don't nobody get mad at me. I'm not sure that he. Okay. Nobody get mad at me, okay? So, I don't think he was into women. Which makes this case even more emphatic in terms of what she wanted and why he was so disgusted with her. Nobody get mad at me. I don't have time for this. I feel bad. The cards, they always talk the truth. I can't help it. All right, guys. Let's end this here on that note. Thank you for tuning in. And let's pray along with North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland that everyone stays safe. But in addition to that, let's hope the truth comes out. The whole truth. And nothing but the truth. That justice, what's the phrase? When, please God, let there be justice. All right, are we good? Are we good? Amen. Thank you, hey girl. Are we good? Can I get some hearts before we leave? Hearts, please. Hearts, please. Hearts, please. What time is it? Thank you for the hearts. She was gross. Ugh. She was disgusting. He was disgusted by her. How dare she demand something of him? By the way, that might be white privilege, where she thinks she can just have anything that she wants. And imagine, this is the same woman that would have cried rape when he finally said, I can't do this, but he wasn't going to do it anyway. But this is the type of woman that cries rape. Always. Always. Oh, final outcome. So her final outcome, I'll take some hearts, please. Thank you for the hearts, guys. Thank you. So, letting go. Releasing the past can seem like a challenge, but it can also be liberating. You understand? Releasing the past. There's something in her past. The past coming back to haunt her. Your angels will help you let go so that you can fly higher than ever before. Endings always herald a new beginning. Choose to allow the situation to lead you to a more joyful life in prison. Change your life by changing your thoughts. That shit crazy. In a very clear-minded, calculated kind of way. We all shall be watching this scenario unfold very, very closely. So Dallas, we're watching you, Dallas. Okay? This man deserves justice. His family deserves justice. Ancestors, rise up. Oh, by the way, I got my DNA back, right? Okay, so I already got it back months ago, but apparently they updated it. And so when I thought it was 14% Nigerian, I am now 4% Nigerian. And I am now 44% Benin, And if you know the Benin culture, well, if you know the Benin culture, apparently this is where voodoo came from. It's my people, which is ironic because that's something Sean tried to tell me. I was like, no, no, no. I still don't like the word voodoo because you all use it in a negative connotation. And I don't do anything bad in terms of like all of that stuff. So it is what it is. But I am 44% Benin, and I'm so happy about that. All right. Love you all. Love you. Shout out to Africa. I know. I gotta go now. Voodoo means spirit. Oh. Well, I can't wait to invest in what all of that means, and then go and then bring you all on a journey with me. Wouldn't that be cool? It's not bad. It's not bad. You know, Christians have made it bad, um, uh, so that the cultural. Remember, they ripped us out of our home and brought us to America, and then they said, "Don't you dare believe what you used to believe in," and then they gave it a name and a connotation like voodoo. I don't uh, co-sign to that anymore. I understand herbs and plants. I understand the land. I use it effectively. No one can stop me anymore. I am who I am. I am African from Benin. Go ahead and try and take it away from me. But I might find another name for it so that the world doesn't see it as, voodoo. In any case, goodbye, everyone. That's a whole nother education. I love you all. Bye. Bye, Apanina. Bye, guys.